Filthy first, but he switched it to Mount Healthy, was marred by cholera outbreak and artillery trapped in the mud. General Compton was able to get the Expos to agree to an uneasy détente, and we will ford the Little Miami on our way to the next battle. I'm speechless.
Even with the rain out, we get them. So you gotta
it doesn't matter. Win, lose, rain out, Jay Lowry never disappoints. Now, you talked about the rainouts, Ray. We did get a couple of games in. Somehow, I don't know how they got them in. Finneytown and Franklin. Well, of course, we know how Franklin gets them in. They just always seem to be able to play there. Now, nothing slows down play at Franklin. The Hustle beat the Knights by a final score of 14-2. The game at Finneytown, though, that was a barn burner. Suds beat the Sting by a final score of 11-10. And I talked to Rusty after this game from the Suds, Brian Rust. He said they had an 11-4 lead, and the Sting put a 6-spot up in the bottom of the seventh inning, had the tying run at third with one out, and Rusty able to come in there and slam the door and protect the 11-10 win. So certainly a nail-biter. Suds thought they had an easy win, but the Sting played them down to their final out. Yeah, well, that's going to take care of this week's games, and the time now. You know what time it is, Ray. Time to go over to the Hot Corner, our weekly segment where we catch up with players and coaches who are making news in the CABL. This week's guest manages the expansion Tigers, who have turned some heads, winning 4 of their first 7 games and currently residing in 8th place. Lots of guys have been asking me, who are these guys and where did they come from? To answer that question and many more, it's our pleasure now to welcome Thomas Hammond into the Hot Corner. Thomas, thanks for joining us this week.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Thomas.
All right, Thomas. So let's do a little backtracking here. We talked about, the expansion Tigers. We've talked the last couple weeks about having you on. Congratulations on the great start. Most expansion teams struggle coming out of the gate. You guys have played pretty well. Let's talk about your background in this league. You're not exactly new to the league. You've actually played on a couple teams prior to this season.
Yeah, all 3 expansions. I started off in the Blue Jays their first year. And then I went to the Red Sox their first year. And then I think I sat a year because I broke my ankle. And then I came back with the Indians,
who are now the Orioles, who have had a pretty decent run. So you're no stranger to this thing about having new teams. Maybe some of that experience has helped you. A lot of guys ask me, too, about we have the Tigers team and a Flying Tigers. And all the years I've been in the league, nobody used the name Tigers. All of a sudden, we've got 2 of them. But you have a pretty good reason for naming your team the Tigers.
Yeah, I grew up in a little town, River Rouge, Michigan, which is border of Detroit. Touches it in 2 spots. So I'm a Tiger fan.
A lifelong Tiger fan. That explains the nickname for sure. So using the Tiger name there. And your team's gotten off to a pretty good start. You do have some guys that have been in the league before, but you've also played in the Anderson League for a few years. I guess you're kind of leaning on some of those Anderson guys you brought over as well.
Correct. I got great contribution out of Doug Harlow so far. He's up in the 400s. He's another guy our age, 40 plus. He's been hitting the crap out of the ball already.
So where did you find Doug?
He's on my Orioles team.
Okay, with the Orioles in the Anderson League.
And I also got Adam Townley. He's only a Wednesday guy.
And for those who don't know, Adam Townley played at Butler University. He came to our tryouts a couple of years ago. Pretty good arm. He when we played against Thomas' team a few weeks ago, very impressed. He still throws the ball very well.
Yeah. Other than that, everybody read them emails Jason sends, man. Call everybody.
Well, it's the thing I was about to talk about here, Thomas. A good way of building a team, and you've done this pretty well, is looking at the free agent players that the league sends out. And I know one of the guys I sent out to you was a guy named Tim Schubert. Tim, a hard-throwing right-hander, you picked him up, and he's helped you get a couple other guys from him. So you never know how you're going to get these guys.
Yeah, good story there. Tim was already saved in my phone, so I already reached out to him. I said, hey, you're already in my phone, so why not just come play baseball?
That makes you get him a lot easier if you're already in contact with him.
Yeah, I met him. Yeah, I met him through Jim Brockman. He is a founder of Anderson League. I guess he played on one of Brockman's teams. I'm not sure how that worked. But Brockman brought him out to the Anderson League a few times, and he subbed for us. And he's brought quite a few guys, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 guys, but they're all contributors, and we're all buying into the same thing, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how you end up getting a guy. You get one guy, might bring you a couple more. I think, didn't he bring you Dorian West, a former Division I college baseball player, right?
Correct, yes.
That's a nice pickup to have.
He also brought in Rick Sweeney, who's not playing right now, but I'm trying to get him to swing bat.
Did Rick also play with Brockman in the Anderson League as well?
No. Rick has not touched a bat for 10 years until this off season.
Okay, I just thought his name sounded familiar.
So let's talk about your decision to bring this team into the league. What brought this on? I know you've been playing in Anderson, and they only play Sundays. Was it, maybe the chance to play another day a week? What kind of brought this on here in 2019 for this Tigers team?
Well, a lot of you guys know Jim Beckett. He wanted to bring a team out, and he called me and said, "Hey, if I make a team, you want to come play with me?" And I was like, sure. I mean, I love the faster pitching. This Anderson League don't throw fast, and it takes a lot of patience. And one thing led to another, and Jim couldn't contribute as much time as he wanted, so I took over. I called every number that said pitcher, catcher, outfield, shortstop. Just what needed the needs, and I worked everybody out. I took time out of my schedule to meet with people and throw with them, and it's a process, but, got to get the right mix of people.
That's it. You got to have a good mix of pitchers. You got to have some hitting and then some good defense. So got to look around. So what brought you into the Anderson League and then into the Cincinnati League?
I moved to Ohio in 2012, and right away I was wanting to play baseball. So a buddy of mine in Michigan reached out to me and said, "Hey, you can play with our team this summer if you can make it out this way." And I was like, "Well, that's a long ride. I'll make some games." I played 4 or 5 games that summer. And then I found online baseball leagues in Ohio around here. I emailed the Anderson League, and I didn't get a reply for a year. And somebody else told me about the CABL, and I emailed that league, and I got a reply right away. And the Anderson League reached out to me also. So I went to both because the Anderson League started early, and it just, I don't know, it just seemed more boring to me. So I went to the ABL.
Yeah, the Anderson League has still been building up, and I played in there for years, but I wasn't too big on the aluminum bats, and then I heard they did switch to the wooden bats, and it's been getting a lot more competitive there.
Yes, it's a lot more competitive this year there. We have wooden bats now, and the Astros, you guys might know them. They came from Deerfield, I believe. The Bitzers.
Yep, Scott Bitzer and Steve Bitzer and company.
They made the league really competitive last year by going to the championship and winning their first year.
Wow, very impressive. Well, that's certainly a good first-year omen, and certainly something you guys are trying to do. Tell me what your biggest challenge has been thus far with fielding this first-year team. A lot of guys, and I'm going to guess what your answer is going to be, but I'm going to let you tell me. A lot of guys will say it's finding pitching.
Yes, pitching. Everybody can pitch, you know that, until you get them on the mound.
Well, yes, and then you find out the hard way, some of them can't.
I'm learning the hard way. You do need 20-some guys, because you can only get 10, 12 at a game.
Yes. Welcome to the CABL, where you have a 25-man roster and the 12 guys show up. But you never know. Middle of summer, those things happen. I tell everybody that comes in, I think I told you this back in January, and good thing you heeded my advice.
Yes. You need a right pitcher for the right team. Some teams can hit stuff that's slow, and some people can hit the stuff that's fast. So you just gotta read it.
Yeah, having a good mix of a heater and someone who can throw some junk. Yeah, you definitely need the big mix. It helps out a lot.
Absolutely. All right, well, that sounds good. Thomas, we appreciate you joining us in the hot corner. Best of luck to you Wednesday. Most importantly, guys, let's hope we play Wednesday. I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm getting sick of these rainouts. I haven't played in 3 weeks, so let's hope we at least get to play on Wednesday. But thanks for joining us, and best of luck to you and the Tigers the rest of the way.
No problem. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks again, Tom. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, guys. Happy Father's Day.
Same to you. Thomas Hammond has been our guest of the Tigers, and if you know of somebody who wants to be on the hot corner, or if you would like to join us and you're listening right now, let us know. We like getting to hear from other teams, stories of other teams, and that's the story we have on the Tigers, and hopefully that sheds a little bit of light on things a little bit for this new Tiger team. Time now to look ahead to the week coming up in the CABL, and let's hope we can get more games in than we did last week. The weather forecast doesn't look great, but we do have 10 games on tap, and we'll start first with the game out of Franklin, which I'm guessing will get played because they typically do play out of Franklin. Dodgers and Braves, and Ray, this is a rematch of a Week 1 game in which the Dodgers fell behind early and scored a bunch late to knock off the Braves. So second time around, we're starting to see that, even though we haven't played a ton of games, starting to see some rematches now.
Yeah, with Mother Nature doing her thing, we're starting to see the duplicates come back around now, even though we haven't got to play everybody. But that'd be a good one to see. The Braves have a little something to come back with to get try to knock out the Dodgers. So see how that goes. And again, Mother Nature not looking good. Let's hope that things change, as we know she took out all of our games this week, this Sunday.
So, yes, enough of the rain. We're saturated. Enough, please.
Yeah, nothing for us to talk about for Sunday other than Mother Nature just won them all. And
did it again. Yeah. Mother Nature 10, CABL 0. It was a run roll. Got us this morning, 10-0. So when you look at the game out at Springboro on Wednesday night, that'll game between the Knights and the Brewers. Knights still looking for that first win. You've got a big game to preview up here happening at Schuler on Wednesday night.
Yeah, we got the Hooks and the Bulls going. This is the second time. Oh, last time around they got rained out. We picked them as the game of the week, and they got rained out, wasn't it? So we'll have to see how that comes. Hooks being out there at Schuler playing against the Bulls, that'll be a good game. So hopefully Mother Nature holds off and we can get that one going. So I don't know that we want to pick that as the game of the week again and jinx them again.
Well, yeah. I caught some heat a couple of weeks ago from Jason Hamburg of the Bulls. He said, you need to stop picking the Bulls for the game. But, it doesn't matter which game we pick for game of the week. They seem to all get rained out at this point.
Exactly.
So we're hoping for better things, absolutely, on Wednesday night.
Maybe we'll pick Mother Nature as the game of the week this week.
Bingo, you've got it. We're going to pick the rain. This week's game of the week is the rain, and maybe it won't happen.
There it is. We're going to see how that goes. So officially, the game of the week this week is the rain from Mother Nature.
The rain.
So
reverse psychology.
Yeah. So then but then we got Tigers in the Hustle playing at North College Hill, and then you got one there, the preview coming up. It's a good one there out at Bishop Fenwick.
Deerfield and Mudcats going at it. These two teams met in the play-in game last year out at Crosley, a game Deerfield won handily, but we've seen this season the Mudcats have been tough on some of these teams up at the top, so Deerfield certainly with their hands full taking on Jeremy Allen and the Mudcats. Your team, the Colt 45s, will be playing the Dragons. That came out at Deer Park High School, and the Dragons, as we mentioned, still looking for their first win, but showed some signs of life with that 9-0 lead over the Orioles last Wednesday.
Yeah, let's hope they're not trying to knock on that door for that first win on Wednesday night. Dragons, we're hoping you guys have to wait for one more game. So, but then you guys got the Meridians, a tough one at Sycamore.
Yeah, Meridians have not lost a game since opening day. They've rattled off, I believe, 7 wins in a row since losing that 14-inning thriller to the Reds out at Riverfront on opening day. It's going to be a tough matchup. We too got rained out against the Meridians. This should be our second game with Soto and company, and in fact, we had a scrimmage set up with him. That one got banged as well. So I think Mother Nature does not want the Yankees to play the Meridians this year for some reason, but that should be a big matchup. Mike's got a good team again this year. So do we. Pitching is obviously rested because we haven't played in so long. So should be a good matchup between those two teams if we can get it in.
That's good. Good luck on that one. And the next one's going to be a rainout. The Reds and the Suds.
The
Reds are bringing it. So.
Yep. Follows the Reds around for some reason. I'm sure they're not happy with us saying that, but hopefully they get that one in out at Mount Healthy. Who knows? Hopefully they can get something. And another game out involving a rematch, Expos and Sting. That game will be out at McNick at 6:30. In fact, in the first time these two teams played each other early in the year, the Expos pulled off the upset. They beat the Sting by a final score of 4-1. So Sting looking for a little bit of payback there. Out at Crosley, just one game this week out there. It'll be the Flying Tigers and the Orioles. A little bit later start time. They can get that going around 7:30.
Yeah, hopefully that one out there with the 7:30 start, getting a chance with the lights. So if we do have a little battle with Mother Nature, there's a chance that that one might get to be able to get played. So, good luck to everybody. Hopefully everybody stays healthy and we all get to play and we can start moving on past all this wetness. So it's starting to get a little crazy.
Yeah, typically you have, 6-7 rainouts in the course of a season. Hopefully the law of averages, we've got them in already and we'll stop getting them. I know last year was kind of opposite, Ray. I know at least my team did not have a whole lot of rainouts through the course of the regular season schedule, but by the time we got to late August and into the playoffs, even a couple of weeks into the playoffs, it seemed like we were getting rain every Wednesday and Sunday. So maybe, just maybe, we're getting it out of the way now.
Yeah, that'd be nice if that's what's happening. So I know last year we had some trouble at the beginning of the high school year. I think we had like 12 or 16 rainouts to start out this season in the high school. We were finding fields with turf and everything just to try to get some makeup games in and everything else. It was crazy. Then we got a nice little break there, like you're talking about, and then it came again. So let's see.